What if you were really strong and had no legs, messing around with a prototype gorilla locomotive style? Now, this obviously looks almost nothing like Gorilla Tag, but you can kinda see the main idea that he was going for. It's believed that Lemming got the money to make Gorilla Tag from his earnings in past tournaments playing Echo VR, but it's not confirmed. A little under a year later, on December 8th, 2020, Lemming made yet another Reddit post showing gameplay that resembled more of what we know Gorilla Tag to be today. Now, because he saw this more as a side project, he didn't hire anybody else to help him with it for more than a year. Eventually, he hired David Yee and David Newbelt, creating a sort of team of developers which they called themselves Another Axiom. On January 31st, 2021, Lemming posted another Reddit post mentioning the name Gorilla Tag publicly, stating he was focusing full-time on finishing the game, which made a lot of people excited based on the footage that he shared. Then, finally, on February 12th, 2021, Gorilla Tag was released under Steam Early Access program, later being released on Oculus on March 12th, 2021, and it was an instant success. On February 22nd, 2021, a YouTuber named Eric1515 released the very first YouTube video posted online about Gorilla Tag. This video was about a technique Eric mastered called wall running. This was one of the first signs of how the community is starting to get very active online, because only 10 days after Gorilla Tag was released, new ways of playing the game were already being created. And nowadays, wall running is one of the most commonly used techniques in the game. But going back to before Gorilla Tag had even opened on Oculus, when the game released, it was free on both PC and Oculus, but after many reports of cheating, it was later changed to be around $20 on PC to try to discourage people from cheating, which did cause a mixture of support and backlash. Then, on March 5th, 2021, a small YouTuber by the name of J-Man Curly uploaded his very first Gorilla Tag video. But we'll get back to him later. Nonetheless, on April 1st, 2021, Lemming added a casual game mode option. Now, Gorilla Tag has two game modes, Infection and Casual. On April 17th, 2021, yet another map was added, known as Canyons. 2 months into release and 2 maps added. But as of September 19th, a much needed update was added. The Cosmetics Update. This update added a new area to the map known as City. This area gave players much more cosmetics to put on, mainly to add some spice to the game. Along with this system, a new form of currency was added to the game, known as Shiny Rocks. Each player started off with 500 Shiny Rocks, acquiring 100 Shiny Rocks per day, each day that you were active. There was also an ATM available to purchase more. Fortunately, those who paid $20 for the game received that $20 worth of shiny rocks, which is around 5,000. On October 3rd, 2021, Lemming added the Halloween update, the very first seasonal update of the game. Now, with this type of attention, the game was starting to pick up speed, and then something crazy happened. On February 22nd, 2021, a YouTuber named Eric15, it was his type of attention, the game was starting to pick up speed, and then something crazy happened. On November 28th, 2021, it was announced that on Oculus devices, they had reached a total of 1.5 million players. Now, it wasn't clear how many players there were on Steam, but they were guessing around 800,000 or more. Now, with this many players active on the game and many holiday updates, the first fresh update came out on December 14th of 2021. This introduced a new game mode known as Hunt, where you were given a target that you had to hunt. Here's the catch. Someone else is also hunting you. On February 12th, 2022, Gorilla Tag had reached their 1-year anniversary, so Lemming fittingly released a few free cosmetics as another way to say thank you. On March 13th, 2022, Gorilla Tag received yet another map. This one is known as Mountains. This update added a new mobility type where you could slide across ice, and only 3 days later, on March 16th, 2022, a little obby zone was added to the city. This obby was pretty difficult, and when you completed it, it granted you access to a new competitive game mode to make sure you stayed with people more your speed. Then, on September 22nd, 2022, a fourth game mode was added. This one is known as Paint Brawl. In Paint Brawl, you receive a slingshot and you have to shoot at your enemies, but don't aim for them, aim for the balloons over their heads. Then on December 15th, 2022, there were a lot of things added. The biggest one of them was yet another area known as Clouds. There were also very specific cosmetics made available to people who had been playing the game for years, or even since early access. On January 19th, 2023, it was announced that Gorilla Tag was now the most popular game on the Oculus device, surpassing Beat Saber. Then, on March 24th, 2023, a new area was added known as Basement. When players logged in and tried this map out, they were initially very underwhelmed. This area was absolutely tiny and it didn't even have an infection option, or any option. But then, after further investigation, players learned that this map held a secret. If you went inside of a maze that made you smaller, there were two creatures, a blue and pink floating monkey with multiple eyes would freeze you and kick you out of the maze, returning you back to regular size. But if they froze you at a certain corner, you would get to roam the map at a tiny size, almost like if you were an ant. This feature made this map both the biggest and smallest map in the game. Which gave a lot of creative options to players such as content creators or just people wanting something different with their friends. Speaking of content creators, on April 21st, 2023, the developers decided to add something to recognize their appreciation to content creators, and the Finger Painter badge was born. This badge was given out once a month through the Creator Troop program. Receiving this badge required you to apply at the beginning of every month, and they would review your pages to see if you met certain requirements. On May 5th, a much-needed update was added. This update mainly focused on canyons, adding a Wild West theme and ropes and zip lines you could climb, swing, and slide through the map on. Then, on May 26th, 2023, the Summer Splash update was released. A new map was added known as Beach. This map gave you tons of choices on how to get around. For instance, you had water you could swim in, waterfalls you could go down, and zip lines and ropes to help you get anywhere and everywhere. After the Summer Splash update was released, Forest Map and Beach Map received tents, trampolines, fireplaces, buckets of water balloons, and slip and slides. These were slowly added one after another. Also, the new update added a little beetle flying around the map that you could grab and interact with. Players instantly started calling this beetle Doug the Bug, and the developers liked that enough to officially make it his name. But there was one big problem with this update. The Caves map was closed. It appeared that it had collapsed onto itself. Many fans of the game were very upset with this. Caves had been open for 2 years and now it's gone. It felt like an eternity, but then, on July 28th, 2023, Crystal Caverns opened back up. But it was different. It didn't look like the old caves, it didn't feel like the old caves, but it was still close enough to caves. This update added musical crystals you could play songs on, rivers to launch yourself on, and best of all, wait, a bat? The community called him Matt the Bat. And we all love it. Well, some people want this bat to be called different things, but we prefer Matt. As of the day I'm creating this video, August 7th, 2023, Gorilla Tag has made more than $26 million. It's the #1 game on the Oculus Store, has almost 400,000 videos made about it on YouTube, 53,000 YouTube channels featuring it, and has 8.3 billion views on TikTok. And currently, it has amassed more than 5 million players. The most subscribed Gorilla Tag YouTuber at the moment is, drumroll please, J-Man Curly, at 1.91 million subscribers, who by himself has gathered 458 million views just from his channel. There are currently 13 creators which have the finger painter badge. The game has been out for 2.5 years, and luckily, there's so much more that could happen. Lemming has made it very clear that he doesn't plan on stopping anytime soon.